Hi there, this is Allison with Let's Go Travel Tips. Today is Wednesday. It's September 7th of 2022. Happens to be our daughter's birthday, so happy birthday if you're watching, and happy birthday to everyone else who happens to have a birthday today. We've got lots to talk about. We have actually got a COVID health protocol update from Princess, if you can believe it, since yesterday. So let's go ahead and get started. Alrighty, like I said, we've got a COVID health protocol update from Princess. Yesterday I did my video telling you how everything was changing on the date September 6th as Princess had set forward a few weeks ago. Well, yesterday I printed those protocols at about 2 o'clock Eastern time before I did my video to make sure everything was up to date, and sure enough, they updated them much later. I think it was early evening is when the update showed up. I am actually really happy to see that update because I was starting to worry about what was going on. Yesterday in the comments we had a Let's Go family member mention that they are going to be on like a 25-night trans ocean voyage going like from Los Angeles down to Australia, and they had received an email saying they needed to have a booster. We had another Let's Go family member who gets to go on a Panama Canal cruise say that they had also received an email saying they needed to have a booster for their cruise, and boosters were not mentioned in the protocols. Now they are. And so let me tell you, so if you are going to sail out of the United States, United Kingdom, or Europe, and you are not going to go on one of those, what they're calling voyages with enhanced guidelines, if you are not going on one of those, it is just as we expected. If you're fully vaccinated, you don't need to do a test. If you're not vaccinated, you can do your own antigen test within 2 days, or if you prefer to do a PCR test, you go to the lab, make sure that you do that within 3 days of embarkation. Now, if you are going to be on one of those sailings with those enhanced protocols, you need to do if you're vaccinated, you need to do the medically assisted, as they are calling it, antigen test or a PCR test within 3 days. That means you can go to your Walgreens, your CVS, your Instacare, wherever you want to go to have it done, or you can use one of those tests like we order from eMed or Optum and do it with a provider on a video call. You can use the government test, use on-point testing, sign up for a test through them. They monitor you doing the test, with someone on the video call with you. Those are great for that. That's awesome. If you are if you're not vaccinated, the same thing. You have to do that medically assisted antigen or PCR test within 3 days. Now, the big difference with the update to those protocols yesterday is they do talk about a booster for those enhanced guideline voyages. They say they include the Panama Canal transits, trans-ocean crossings, so that pretty much, takes care of your transatlantics, your trans-Pacifics, and like, for example, the sailing that goes from Los Angeles down to Australia. It says, and special voyages. Guests on these voyages must be fully vaccinated and up to date, which means you have to have received all doses of an authorized or approved vaccine series and at least one booster if eligible before embarkation. Now, that is the first we're hearing of this. They do not talk about exemptions here. So if you are booked on one of these cruises and you are not vaccinated, clearly my guess is you're going to have an exemption. Like I said, they don't talk about exemptions here, but since it says that you are required to be vaccinated, and if you're vaccinated and eligible for a booster, got to have that booster. It sounds like if you don't, you're going to have an exemption for it, whether it's the exemption to not be vaccinated or the exemption to not have a booster. So definitely contact Princess right away about that. Now, I don't know how soon before these sailings all happen that they are sending out this information. So I would like to hear from all of you on that to give us all a good idea, because I think that some people have booked these cruises hoping that by the time it rolled around that they were not going to have to worry about the testing or about the vaccine. All of these things are a little bit in flux and have been really since they announced the changes. And so if you end up not wanting to go on your cruise, let me know if you were able to just cancel and get your cash back, or if they made you have a future cruise credit, or just how all that worked out. I think that will help everyone. Now, I always want to remind you that those are just sailings that do not include Canada or Greece. Bermuda also has their own set of rules. Princess doesn't sail to Bermuda right now. They actually updated them, and I'll talk to you about that tomorrow, but we've got lots to talk about today, so I decided to stick with this. Now, just a quick reminder, like I said, Canada and Greece have their own requirements, and I just want to say these are requirements by their country. The country of Canada, the country of Greece, I know that they vary from, like Canada, Greece's requirements do vary from what they require to fly in, but if you will look at the protocols for the other cruise lines, they also list these same requirements. So Princess isn't just making up the requirements for Greece, and I know that from some emails I get and some comments I read, some people think, well, this shouldn't be. And in the end, it really doesn't matter. The country sets the rules and we get to decide if we want to go or not. And I am one that I think we should go. Any chance you get to go to Greece, take it and go. But anyway, now on to, as I think of taking every opportunity to go where you can go, I just wanted to briefly mention this. I know that it's on lots of channels today. And so, I just felt appropriate that I just send my love and prayers and let any of you know that don't already know, a lady was killed by a shark that was on a Royal Caribbean cruise, the Harmony of the Seas, yesterday. So it happens to be on the same ship that Tony and Jenny are on right now. So he did a really nice video earlier today. The reason I mention it to you is twofold. Number one, I surely think that we need to send our love and our prayers. If you pray for their family. And if send good vibes or whatever it is that you do. If you don't pray, they would really appreciate any thoughts that we can send their way, I'm sure of it. And the other thing that it just is such a reminder to me to keep the main thing in my life, to make sure that I do everything that I need to do to keep my life going, but at the same time to take every opportunity I can to go somewhere, to be with my family, just all of these things. And so I wanted to share that with you. And hopefully their family will be okay. Now on to a little more cheerful news. So you recall probably that Princess announced, and I talked about it in one of my videos, Princess talked about how they were going to do the new bidding on a stateroom program that was set to release, and so it has released right on time. And one of our Let's Go family members was so kind to post over in our Facebook group that she said, just got an email to bid on an upgrade on our upcoming cruise. Seems really easy and straightforward. They have a starting bid and they let you try for any or all levels of upgrade. So I really like that. So you can try for whatever you want. You have to enter the payment information and don't see where the cabin is located unless it specifies aft or forward. One question she's wondering, and I was hoping you all could weigh in on this because you are very seasoned travelers. She says, is the club class worth the upgrade from a basic mini suite? We are already elite and don't see any additional perks for the cost. So the main benefit that I would say, if it was just me thinking about that, I would think about the benefit that you get of dining in the club class dining room. The really nice thing about that is you never have to wait for a table. And you get to have the same wait staff so that they get to know you, they get to know your preferences. When you have somebody good in the main dining room, which usually you do, let me tell you on Princess, I always love it when I sit down and they set the Diet Coke down right afterwards when they see it's me. And I've had so many people do that. And I know that's a funny thing, but it's just to me that what they do to remember who you are. So you do get that in the club class dining. And I do think it's very valuable from the standpoint that you don't ever have to wait. And they do have some additional menu items. And so those are some options to think of if you want to. If you are elite and you really enjoy extra perks, you might enjoy the extra perks that come with a club class cabin from that standpoint. So I would say the dining is the biggest difference. Let me know, all of you, if you wouldn't mind, what else you would maybe consider when trying to make that decision. So it's fun to hear that that's going, and so everyone's going to have to let us know, like if their bid gets picked up and if they're pleased what they got, for how much they paid, if they were pleased with the location, all of that. Let us know. Now, the next item that I want to move on to is what's going on with Excursions with Princess. A couple of days ago, I talked to you about, I think it was on Monday maybe, how our Let's Go family member who is going to be on a sailing in May really wanted to book that excursion to go see the Normandy beaches. and it was sold out that fast. Now, the rest of the story is that clearly had been for sale, and all of a sudden it was frozen and said they had 4 spots left, and it was frozen for a long time. Like, you could not book it. She couldn't book it logging in as her in her cruise personalizer. On Princess, if I book your cruise, I can access your cruise personalizer, and I couldn't get it to work either. So we both called on it and got the runaround, quite frankly. Like, one person said they had a glitch in the system. Another person said, oh, you're too far out from your cruise. Another person said, oh, we had to stop it so that we could work with the vendors, and it'll, come back online sometime soon. We heard lots of excuses as to why it wasn't working, and then it just went live the other day and it immediately was sold out. So I tell you all of this because as Gordon was looking at another Princess forum, someone else mentioned for that exact same, to go to the Normandy beaches. It sounds like it's a different sailing though. It's not the exact same cruise. They were told, please check back again 180 days prior to sail date. That's the right time to make reservations for Excursions. And I just booked Excursions for our Antarctica cruise that's 500 and something days out. I have booked Excursions for our Norway cruise that is more than a year out. I booked Excursions for... I don't think I have yet for the Total Eclipse cruise, but I have for lots of sailings. I've booked a lot for Alaska now, and that's next May. And so are any of you experiencing the same thing? I am wondering what's going on with the Excursions there. And now we are really hopeful that they will open up and add some more capacity to that particular excursion, because so many people want to go see the beaches of Normandy when you go to Le Havre there. But yeah, share with me if you're having any trouble with booking Excursions. I think that would help inform us all a lot. The next item here that I want to let you know about is these are just a couple of other housekeeping things. So I know that a lot of you are going to be going, well, let's do the housekeeping first. The other night on our live, we had our Let's Go family member, Rick, and he was so kind. He, though, is booked on a cruise, and through a promo that the travel agency that he works with, he has a lot of onboard credit. And so he mentioned that they were going to go ahead and wait until they got on board to book their excursions and their specialty dining so that they could use actually the onboard credit rather than having to use like the regular money that they have now, because it's a lot that they have to use up. And so I mentioned that he might want to go ahead and do that, or have his travel agency book it, because I know that when I book an excursion for someone on Princess, I can select if they have onboard credit. It will give me the option to use their onboard credit or not. And I would never use it without asking someone. But surely you can get your excursions booked. And the reason that I would say go ahead and do that is because you don't want to miss getting the excursion that you want. And a lot of times, the closer it gets to the sale date, the especially the most desirable ones are going to sell out. And even if you want to go on the one that's not the most desirable, you know what you want to do, and I wouldn't want you to miss out on it. And the same with the specialty dining. That's filling up a lot. And so you don't want to miss being able to go where you want to go or on the evening that you would like to go. So go ahead and book that. And I have had a couple of people comment and send me an email that they have also done that before when they could not apply their onboard credit. And then when they get on board the ship, they are able to convert that over so that it uses their onboard credit instead, and they get their money back on their credit card. Does that make sense? So if you have experience with that, let us know that as well. I logged into just one of our cruises. What's next? The Love Boat cruise, and I don't have any onboard credit on that. But on the one that is to Norway, there is some onboard credit. And when I went to book an excursion, it gives you the option if I want to click the box and use it. And so I'm just putting that out there to let everybody know that that's an option. So let us know what you've done with that. And then the Love Boat cruise, the Love Boat sale that I talked to you about the other day. And so that's the one I told you. You basically get your Princess Plus package, your Princess Premier package, and the Love Boat sale gives it to you for the same price that you would be getting it for, except for in addition to everything that you get, you also get a $100 excursion credit. So if you're not familiar, the Princess Plus package is $50 a day. It includes your gratuities, your Wi-Fi, and the Plus beverage package. And then the Premier package is $75 a day, and you get the Premier beverage package, the Wi-Fi, the gratuities, and then you also get entered into all the Princess Prizes thing they're doing. And so this is a great sale. Now, someone commented saying that they had noticed on another website it said that you cannot apply that sale to solo cruisers. And I wanted you to know that yesterday I booked one of our Let's Go family members on a cruise, and we applied that sale to it, and she got the $100 excursion on board, the $100 excursion credit using the Love Boat sale, and so it does apply to solo cruisers. So just wanted to put that out there. If you're wanting to book a cruise and you're solo, do the Love Boat sale if you want to have the either one of those packages. So I wanted just to make sure everybody knew about that. Now, we also have had a really nice Let's Go family member, actually two, let us know about it, but one was so kind to send me an email. And they were just on the Caribbean Princess that was made some stops in New England, and then up to Canada, and then in over to Iceland. And I just wanted to tell you some of the highlights that they said, because I'm going to keep this, and when I get to go on that cruise, I'm going to refer to it. So I want to tell you the highlights that I think would be most valuable if you are going to go on one of these sailings. I wanted to start off by saying that this person that sent this is a history buff. They said they really enjoy going to the museums and things like that. They said that a lot of museums that they'll go to will even be like kind of small, it sounds like, but they still have so much to show. Which reminds me, if you ever go on a cruise to Oslo, Norway, right where the ship docks is the Resistance Museum for Norway. Oh my goodness, it is not huge, but it is such a good museum. Like, don't miss that. That's what came to my mind when I was thinking of small museums that are very much worth a visit. Like, so worth the visit. And then when we were there, we also went over to the oh my God, Thorvaldsen? No, that's in Copenhagen. Well, I'll have to look it up and tell you. We went to see the big Viking ship, and then the one about Thor Heyerdahl, maybe that one's it. The guy who sailed on his raft, and it's just extraordinary. It's not huge either, but it is very worth a visit. So sorry about that sidetrack, but if you're going to Norway, you're going to want to know that. Now, on the Caribbean Princess, here's a few things. So first of all, they were supposed to be able to call in Nuuk, N-U-U-K, Greenland, and they were not able to. And so they said they met someone on the cruise that this was their third time to Greenland, and for weather reasons, they have not called at that port yet. So that is apparently a port that there is often bad enough weather that you're not able to visit. So this cruise had 9 sea days and ended up with 10 since they were not able to call at that port. And so right then on that Caribbean Princess sailing, there were 2,800 guests on board. 2/3 of them were platinum and elite, and so the Club Fusion was packed every sea day for cocktail hour, because that's when they have it for those guests to come. And then there were 24 children on board. Food was good, no repeats, except for they did have lobster in the dining room all 3 formal nights. That's awesome, because sometimes on the first formal night they don't have the lobster. The first champagne waterfall on the Crown Princess in 3 years. There was not a chef's table offered. Movies under the stars was great. They had a large variety of things to watch on Movies Under the Stars. Now they did the hop on hop off bus in Halifax, Canada, and the guide there was so nice, helped them plan out the stops so that they could hit everywhere that they really wanted to see. In Sydney, the ultimate Cape Breton, not enough time at the Heritage Village, but the Bell Museum needed more time too, but they said they still really enjoyed getting to go to those. I'm just going to spell this, Nantortaik, Nanortaik. Strongly recommend the ship excursion. Took 4 hours to get a tender. The fjord was highly enjoyed from everyone who went. The town is very poor there, with lots of children asking for money. In 90 minutes, he or she did the museum and walked the town, got postcards and stamps and everything, but definitely that is a port that it sounds like it's really worth it to do an excursion, so that not only can you get off the ship faster, because they'll give priority to people on an excursion to get off rather than if you're just going to get off on your own. But I really appreciated them letting us know that. They also had a long line to get back on the ship because only one tender can dock at a time there. Now in Kwartog, Quaquortog. That's a military base in Denmark. They said there were a few cute shops with Danish imported clothing, totally different vibe with outdoor cafes, lots of teenagers polite and eager to practice their English. Bring your passport to the passport office and they will stamp it. Like, how cool is that? I love to get stamps in my passport. Also, if you have anyone who is a Haribo, that's how I see it, Hairbo, fan, the grocery store had some bags not sold in the USA. That is like one of my favorite things. Haribo candies, if you haven't tried it, they make this huge variety of all these different kind of gummy candies, or just soft ones that aren't even so gummy, and licorice, all of these things. And they have a lot that you can't get in the United States. So everywhere we go, I'm always saying to Gordon, let me run in there. And I always bring a lot home with me. I still have some from when we went. I kind of ration it once I get home. But anyway, let's see. And then if you stay there, if you're able to stay in town long enough there in that town in Denmark, if you stay, 3 fishing boats will come in and let you try their catch. And on that day, it was whale and shark, and it was good. It tasted like beef tartare. And so I thought that was kind of fun. In St. John, Labrador, don't do the hop-on, hop-off bus. They did just cabs to where they wanted to go and ended up spending less money. They said the pub on the water was great, and the geology museum is terrific there. The town does not get many ships, and so everyone there in St. John, Labrador seemed very tickled to have them there. And I just wanted to let you know the last one was I liked how they said about New York City as they were coming in. They used the dock there in Brooklyn. They said that it was just beautiful views of Lady Liberty going on their cruise and coming back. And here's the reminder. I've showed you this in videos before, but there was a really long line at disembarkation there at that port because there were only 2 customs agents and everybody's trying to disembark. And so get a porter. They'll put your luggage on the thing and they take you to the front of the line. They have done that at every port we have been at. They do it in Los Angeles. They did it in Seattle. They've done it in where else? Fort Lauderdale. That's the other one that I was thinking of. And they just do a really nice job. So it's probably worth it to give them a generous tip and have them take you to the front of the line. So if you have any questions about anything else to do with that, put it in the comments below and we will pick it up. And if these people that were so kind to talk about it don't pick up the comment, I will ask again so that they'll help us out. Now, I just wanted to say another person talked about it in the comments and they were just so happy to be back on the sea again. They had a wonderful time. It was wonderful to connect with the crew. They loved the Champagne waterfall, and it was just a magnificent trip. It sounds like everybody had a wonderful time, even though they missed the port due to bad weather. So to me, it's just another example of being happy where you are and enjoying what you're able to do. And so if you have any questions, I would love you to put them below. And if you are on a cruise ship right now or you have recently been, we would really, really like to hear from you. Watch for my video tomorrow. No matter how much news there is, I'm going to include talking about Boston in it because I just want to share the thoughts that I have had about things that might help you think of a few things to do when you are in port there. And I'll even include some things that I wouldn't miss if I were going for a couple of days before my cruise, if you happen to sail out of there. So I really appreciate all of you. If you haven't subscribed, would you please subscribe? Tell your friends about our channel. We would love to get Let's Go family members, more of you to join us. We have such an amazing community, and the more of you that we have join us, the more rich our experiences will be. And if you appreciate these updates, would you please give this video a thumbs up? I'll be talking to you all again really soon. You all take really good care. God bless you. Love you. Bye-bye.